55 beneath the city, was revitalized. Started riding with ride.
Here at Ranchito Grill, finally, ever since Rick told me about this place, I've been literally dreaming about it. Tortillas.
Hi, I'm Rick Dancer.
And I'm Emma Christine.
Nice of you to show up.
What?
We're at Ranchito Grill tonight.
Ooh, Ranchito Grill. It's happening.
What's happening?
Nothing.
What do you
Keep
mean?
going.
What's happening?
No,
What do you
just keep going. You're doing great.
I talked to Abe, and he said he owns the place, and he said that you could do whatever you want tonight in the show.
Whatever I want.
Anything. So if you could pick one thing, what would you pick?
It's really happening. Well, they make their tortillas fresh. I've always wanted to do that.
Okay.
Can I make tortillas?
You can, in just a second. But I have a story I have to talk about first.
It's not your poo for...
Poo to power in 48 hours?
That's the one.
You betcha. Watch.
Okay.
There aren't many dairy farmers who can brag about the fact that their cow manure doesn't smell. There aren't many dairies in Oregon that can provide enough electricity from cow manure to power 300 homes a day. The American dairy industry is committed to reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 25% by the year 2020. Lochmean Dairy found a way to reduce its greenhouse gas emission by 20% already and produce electricity at the same time. And wait until you see what this same dairy farm is doing with solar power. At Lochmean Dairy, just outside Junction City, a new manure digester, a first of its kind in the world, is creating power.
Dealing with manure has always been a hassle, and it's not a hassle anymore.
That's Buzz Gibson. His family started Lochmean Dairy back in the 40s. Lochmean produces milk, ice cream, and all kinds of dairy and non-dairy products. With 1,100 cows on the property, 700 of them milk 3 times a day, a farmer ends up with a lot of cow manure. Lochmean has always used the manure to fertilize the fields to help grow more food for the cows. In 2010, Lochmean took reusing, renewing, and recycling to a whole new level.
All the feed we grow, put through the cows, we get the milk, the manure goes in the tank, we make methane gas off of it, and then we're able to use the solids for bedding and the liquid for fertilizer. It's totally recycled. Everything is recycled.
So let's step back and show you how this works. The manure and other organic matter are flushed out of the barns into the tanks.
The 2 big tanks behind me each hold 485,000 gallons, and the small one here holds around 200,000 gallons.
Heat from the engine is used to warm the tanks to 75 degrees, which creates the right environment for the bacteria to produce the methane gas.
We're pulling gas 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, off all 3 tanks. It goes into the container. There it's cooled and compressed and goes into the engine, which is designed for methane, burning methane. And the engine goes around and turns the alternator, which makes electricity. And that's all sold on the grid to EPUD. And a lot of this power that's created here, we use. The rest of it goes on down the line.
Once the methane is harvested, the remaining manure is separated into solids and water. The water is stored in lagoons for spring and summer crop fertilization, and the solids?
This right here is sawdust from our bedding and undigested feed, which is what manure is. And it went through the digester for 7 days. Then we took out the water, and now we're storing it, composting it for bedding.
Revolution Energy Systems, or RES, out of Washington, D.C., owns the power plant. Lochmean leases the land to the company, provides the manure, and uses some of the power for the dairy.
They have the same screen back in Washington, D.C., the cows monitor, and they know the temperature, the pressure, and this thing has a lot of safety devices on it, so something can't happen.
The plant operates 24/7.
Making electricity and eliminating a lot of the odors from the dairy.
This is efficiency at its best.
To be able to take cow manure and make a product that everybody needs every day, electricity. And it's made for just pennies. Every kilowatt just takes a penny or two to make it. and be able to create 3.2 million kilowatt hours in the last couple of years. Pretty phenomenal.
In other parts of the world, manure digesters are common, but this new process at Lochmean Dairy in Junction City is the first of its kind in the world.
From poo to power in 48 hours, that's what I like to say.
Another way Lochmean Dairy is generating electricity is doing so directly from the sun by using solar cells installed on the processing plant and 14 of their Dairy Mart stores. Right now there are 3 manure digesters like this one in Oregon and 3 more on the drawing board.
There's no reason why every dairy in America can't have a digester.
Lochmean continues to look for new and innovative ways to save energy and protect the environment.
I overdid it. Okay. I'm gonna do some more of that. All right. I did it. Don't break it. Oh, quickly, don't ruin this. Back away from the tortilla. Oh, while I do this, Rick's gonna tell you about a new recycled building here in Lane County. Take it, Rick.
It took a little more than a year to recycle, transform, remodel, and create one of Lane County government's most green, energy-efficient buildings.
If we're going to have people come out here to get their building permits, it would set a really good example to have a sustainable green building.
The building off Delta Highway once served as offices and equipment storage for Quest, and more recently for Lane County government.
You know, we have Public Works Administration and right-of-way permits out here at Delta. We had parks out here at Delta. And then land management that provides all of our land use, zoning, and permitting functions was downtown in the Public Service Building. So the first idea of this was to combine all of those customer service functions into one location for our customers.
This is what the building used to look like. The nearly $5 million remodel took 20,000 square feet of the building and transformed it into this.
We issued a bond, so we're not using any general fund money for this project, and the bond will be paid back with rents from the occupants of this building. So right now, land management is paying, or was paying until they moved in, rent downtown in downtown facilities. That rent will now be paid out here to cover the cost of the bond. We have solar panels on our roof. We have a very high efficient mechanical systems for air circulation. All of our stormwater on site is going through rain gardens, so it's a very green building.
To bring more light in, the ceilings were lifted in spots and the wood recycled and used as moldings inside. Countertops are made with recycled materials, and the flooring is a natural product. The county even repurposed old file cabinets. The building is LEED certified, but not so green that it costs too much.
We wanted to keep within budget, so we went for just a basic LEED certification.
Now, land management, parks, building permits, public works, and even Lane County Animal Services are all in the same place, and that will make it easier for customers.
They can go to one place to get all their permits and general information about the variety of services that Public Works provides. Secondly, it's free parking, and it's easy access.
Customer service is not just improving on-site, it's also improving online.
The big changes for our customers will be the ability to purchase permits online, schedule permits online, and some of the other neat things they can do is they can sign up for instant email notifications, so when their inspection is resulted, they can be emailed of that result.
Lane County is partnering with the state of Oregon on its online permitting system. Matt Laird says builders and homeowners should notice a difference.
We will be bringing, in the future, we're not doing this yet, but will be soon, bringing laptops out into the field. Our inspectors will be, so they will result those right then. And so when that happens, it's like real-time inspections and tracking. So that's what we're going for.
Lane County started planning the remodel project 3 years ago, long before the current budget crisis.
We're not impacting any other services. I've had people say, how can you build a new building when the sheriff's office is taking all those reductions? But this is not, the money that we're using for this building could not be used for those services. The rents from all the occupants in the building will pay off the bond. No public, no general fund money.
And hours are expanded to 9 to 4 Monday through Friday and through the lunch hour. So those tortillas that Emma just made, they use to then turn around and make fresh chips at the restaurant here. While I'm making the chips, we're going to start a recycling segment here on Rick Dancer TV. And Emma does this really cool thing with recycled jeans that she finds at Goodwill.
From pants to pocket to purses. And the best thing about it is they're all original. Answer?
I think that's a cool idea. So
Yeah.
what do people say to you?
They say, where can I get those? Where'd you buy that? I found these at Goodwill because they're clean, there's a lot of convenient locations, and they categorize things. They make it really easy to find what I'm looking for. I started making them so I wouldn't waste the full pockets after I was done with pants. Cut these off of pants that expired. I really like these separated little pockets, so I made one little change pouch, or two separate change pouches, I guess, and then one purse. So I've got 2 holes here poked on evenly on each side, and shoelaces are a really good strap. I tied a knot on one side, and I want the knots to be on the back of the pouches, so I'm gonna go ahead and feed it through like this and make sure it catches. You can also put fun ideas. You can put beads or something else here, but we'll just make a regular one. I want to use it tonight.
We're going to begin an exercise segment on Rick Dancer TV for obvious reasons. Emma, can you take a breath for a minute? You might want to watch this story.
That's rude. Can I get some guac up in here? Some salsa?
Okay, we're at Lane Community College, where they have a number of amazing fitness programs and all kinds of really science that you're working on out here and education about this. This is Tara Pemberton. She's a friend of mine. I twisted her arm, and she's going to show us some exercises, because what I want to do is inspire you to do some things at home. We're going to talk about core, right?
Right.
The importance of core.
The importance of core. So when you're working your core, you're including the muscles between your shoulders and your hips. That's going to include your abs, your muscles of your back, and also your glutes. So you want to think about working the body as a whole and not just in parts and pieces. So core is important because it's going to help increase your stability and your balance.
So this is called the slasher halo, right?
Slasher to halo.
So now tell me if I'm doing this right. So what I'm doing is coming up, around, and down.
Right.
So you're doing this over your head. So there's the halo, and then you slap. What you're doing is, I can feel my core.
So maybe bend your arms a little bit more in the back so you get yourself off a little bit more balance there.
Okay. Okay.
And that's going to help increase as far as stability and balance, make it a little harder.
And if I keep my legs together on the ball, because I'm sitting on a ball, we'll show you that in a second. That does make it harder too, doesn't it?
Right. So now you're balanced because you have a smaller, narrower base. You're not as balanced, and you've now decreased your balance, your stability.
And that's hard, but that's easy to do. And all you need is a gallon of water.
Unless you want it less, and then you can drink it.
Yeah, by the time you're done with your workout, you'll have nothing. Tara, thank you.
You're welcome.
You may have noticed the gallon of water I was using was from Mckenzie Mist Water. Well, they're one of our sponsors. They sponsor the water cooler, and when I called Molly to say, I want to run this Casa story that we did as the water cooler, it's a little bit longer, and she said, Rick, you bet.
My name is Sarah. I have been in foster care for most of my life. I was 3 years old, and a relative came up to me, and they always bought me a lot of stuff, a lot of toys, and whenever I knew that I was getting a toy, I knew that I was gonna be sexually abused. I knew that something bad was gonna happen, and I always felt like it was my fault. Homes and circumstances have changed many times. I remember the day in the courthouse when I was testifying against the relative, when they had denied the imprisonment, that all they did was smile and wave and say that everything was going to be okay. And then that's when another relative started abusing me. But one thing that hasn't changed is my Casa Patty May. She has always been there for me.
Casa means court-appointed special advocate, and we are just volunteers that will go through training, and we are the voice for the child.
I was on suicide watch. I did not care about myself at all. I got into a lot of stuff that really hurt me. I was pretty much in a downward spiral with my life. Mrs. May goes up in front of the judge and fights to keep my best interest in mind.
There's a lot of kids that need somebody to speak up for them because they are being abused on a daily basis.
She taught me that I can stand up for myself. She cares about everything that happens to me. If I'm sad, she gives me a hug. Sadness is having a hole in your heart and knowing that no matter what you try to fill it up with, it's never going to be filled. Mrs. May knows me better than anyone I know. She understands my pain, my sadness, my anger, and my happiness.
There's one person out there that really cares about them, and they're not paid to care. They really genuinely care for them.
My Casa fought for me when everyone else seemed to give up.
For Sarah, she didn't have any hope because, every placement that she had been in her own home, there was abuse in every single situation.
Lonely is having no hope, that you're just by yourself and you're in your own, it's like being in a black hole. Hope is finally getting a rope and crawling out of the hole and believing in yourself even when you didn't want to believe in yourself, and having someone there to help you along.
I know presently in where we live, there's not a casa for every child, and I think there should be. And what child shouldn't get a casa? Who shouldn't have a voice?
My Casa showed me I have a voice and how to use it to advocate for myself.
If you're out there and you're contemplating whether you should do this, that this may require too much of your time, I would ask that you would, look at Sarah's life and say, here's a girl that her life got turned around because she did have a casa.
She means a whole lot to me, and I know I mean a whole lot to her.
It touches my heart. Her letter just, I mean, that's worth $1 million plus.
I want to go into the nursing program, and I want to make a difference in people's lives, that when they feel that they have no one there, when they feel that no one cares about them anymore, that I can come along and pick up their pieces and pick up their broken hearts and help them. I want to be a foster mom, and I also wanted to be a Casa. My Casa showed me it's okay to be me.
My mom's one of those moms who's always wondering when I'm getting married. I don't know when. It's probably not going to be in 2013, and it's probably a good thing because spaces are filling up fast. I found that out when I found the river's edge. You're going to love it. It's perfect.
Nestled along the South Fork of the Willamette River, just a few miles from Creswell, Oregon, you'll find the River's Edge Event Center. Mark and Peggy Shrives live here and operate River's Edge events.
Honestly, I feel so blessed that we found this place and the nice guy that sold it to us. And if I can share that with everybody, I am happy to share it with everybody because they should be able to enjoy it. I mean, it's a pretty one-of-a-kind place.
In 2011, their daughter Laura and her husband Brian married here. While putting together their wedding, Peggy Shrives decided it was time to share their property with other events. It didn't take long for the idea to take off. The summer of 2012 sold out to weddings.
Right when I got here, I just saw the scenery and it was just beautiful. And then meeting Peggy and her husband, they were just so nice and just made me fall in love with it.
The grounds are spectacular and perfect for a riverfront wedding or to use the gazebo as a centerpiece.
I liked the river in the background and how you could hear it, like gently in the background.
It's a one-of-a-kind place. A location Peggy says you really can't own. You borrow it and share it with others.
When you rent the property, you get your tables and chairs and linens, 30 hanging baskets of flowers, a tent, dance floor, PA system, coffee urn that is 110 cups of coffee to have with your cake, shepherd hooks, tiki torches, all your outside decorations if you want to use them. And then I do have all the table decorations if you're interested in using those. Also, we have the bridal cottage, a groom cabin that they can get ready in. We have 2 parking attendants and a golf cart to ride in on if you need to.
For the brides, their party, and the mothers, there's a spa day prior to the weddings where those with weddings already scheduled are pampered for a day. They get a massage, a makeover, their hair done, and a chance to taste wedding cakes and check out potential caterers.
I'm getting more than I could possibly ever ask for my wedding. It's like keeps getting better and better.
River's Edge has a bartender, an MC you can hire, and for that Cinderella wedding, TJ's Big Horse Farm will bring the bride and her bridesmaids to the wedding in style.
When we got here this morning, just everything's set up and they just take care of so many different things, and I'm just amazed. I'm so glad we found them.
Every wedding day is perfect, but sometimes the weather won't cooperate. River's Edge keeps the party going. Even in a downpour accompanied by thunder and lightning, the wedding will go on in style. At the river's edge, memories and relationships are created for a lifetime.
They're doing great at keeping it going and just making it still special for us, even though it's been pouring, thundering, lightning.
Peggy and Mark Shrives strive to make your day the perfect day.
They're so friendly. I've never met such nice people before. They just want to make our day special.
Peggy will put you in touch with top-notch catering services like Bates Steakhouse out of Eugene.
This is our favorite place to come. You know, it's great shade when it's hot out there and it was 100 degrees and you're getting married. There's no better place than here.
River's Edge is into details. Even the smallest will not be overlooked.
The cool part about the swimming pool is it's kind of a decoration, and we can turn the lights to get to the color that bride's colors are. So if it's a purple wedding, we turn the pool purple.
The lights, the gazebo, the trees, the shade, the swing for two, and that mighty river. Even a bear to delight your guests as they wait to sign the guest book. River's Edge events, what are you waiting for? When people get wind of this place, the dates on the calendar fill up quickly.
From the moment I drove in to the moment I left, I just knew that I had to get married here.
Why is it going so good? God is good. That's why it's going so good. Yeah.
I would strongly, highly recommend getting married here.
Place is amazing, right? But there's only a few spots available, so if you are getting married this year, hurry and make arrangements. All this wedding talk has got me in the mood for a drink. Don't know what it is. Bartender? I heard Ranchito Grill has the best margaritas. Hey, look, it's Rick. Hit me, Rick! Thank you. Classy. Rick's working for me. Now that's my dream.
My mom told me not to talk to strangers.
You work at the country station in town?
Don't ever say that again.
KNRG!
It's rock and roll and it's serious.
We'll be seeing you there, little missy.
Who taught him that?